All right, we're recording. Let me tilt this down a little bit on the camera. I'm going to apologize up front for the negativity. I'm going to try not to be too terribly negative, but it's not a good day. So, we're looking for a load. I'm going to. I haven't looked at the load board at all. Well, I looked at it this morning before I drove over here, but that was before 8 a.m. And they haven't really started posting new loads yet. So now it's 8:35, so there should be a decent number of new loads on the board. Oh yeah, I got to do advanced search here. So this is basically just going to be me looking for a load and complaining about drama. Let's do a minimum of $1,000. It looks like this yard dog next to me might be pulling out. That's part of the drama. So this is within 100 miles of my delivery location. So what are the two things that really just are bumming me out today? There aren't any really awesome loads on here. All the ones that pay decent are going to New York or Massachusetts or Connecticut. I'm not sure that these little short runs for $1,000 are worth it, because I'd have to deadhead 100 miles to pick it up, and then I'm going to be put back in the exact same situation that I'm in. I'm still in the same area. So why am I looking for a load out of York, Pennsylvania? So number one reason why I'm bummed out today is yesterday I found a load while I was getting unloaded at Walmart, and it was going. Basically, it was my next load after this one. I was gonna have to deadhead something like 100 miles and pick up a load, but it paid $3,000 to go 600 something miles. So it was like a $5 a mile run. It paid me almost $3 a mile. And it took me to Atlanta. Well, to Union City or something like that, Georgia, to the Atlanta market. Well, about 2 hours after I grabbed the load, the driver managers sent me a message saying the shipper canceled the load. What they did was they canceled and relisted the load. Now, if they would have relisted the exact same load with the exact same pickup time and the exact same delivery time and just changed the price on it, then I would be talking to the director today. I would be talking to Brandon. Brandon is the director over owner operators and brokerage people, and I would have been complaining about the broker who screwed me over on that, because the shipper didn't cancel that load. The broker just relisted it at a lower price to get a bigger cut. But that's not the case. The load was relisted, but it was relisted on a different day. So they canceled the delivery later in the week that I would be able to do, and they relisted it earlier in the week and at a cheaper price. So instead of like $3,000, they relisted it at $2,200, and it picked up. They wanted it moved Sunday by midnight is when they wanted it picked up by. So there's no way I could do that load. As of right now, there aren't any good loads coming out of York. The original plan was to get to Summershade, so let's check Summershade, and we'll go into reason number two why I'm in a bummed out mood today is, like I said, the APU, you can't really tell if it's fixed until you run it overnight, because it takes it a long time for it to overheat. It 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 ran a lot. Last night was the longest it's run though, and after running for several hours, it finally errored out on me and shut off. So right here, this Burnside, Kentucky, going to Pottsville, That's pretty much the exact same run that I had coming out of York, Pennsylvania. 600-mile run paying $3,000. But to get to this one, I'm going to have to take a shitty, cheap run, a filler, a feeder run, to get me over to a place where I can get, a decent money run like this. But I can't even pick up this load because this is the 18th. So really, I'd be looking for something down toward the bottom of the list here. And there aren't any really amazing runs down here. I mean, if I get into this area, then there are a lot of runs within a decent range of Summer Shade. But it looks like Summer Shade has not listed any new loads. So whoever the broker is for Summer Shade hasn't started listing loads yet. Why do I... Okay, if you haven't watched my previous videos, what's the deal with Summer Shade? Summer Shade is a Clorox distribution center. And this division is general freight. So that's a general freight load. This is a brokerage load. So there are... You see how this one pays really crap? It's like $2 a mile. So you're going to make like $1.50 to $1.40 a mile on this. This is the general freight. This is like company driver freight. This is a brokered load. This is something that's most likely available on the spot market. So they're having to price it at spot market rates. So this is paying $4 a mile instead of this crap paying $2 a mile. Now the other thing is, this is going to New Jersey, so it should be probably paying more than that. This load's been sitting on there for a long time. It was one of the crappiest loads listed coming out of Summer Shade. $4 a mile just isn't really enough to go into Jersey. This one, going to Pittston, Pennsylvania, is a much better load. Why in the hell would somebody pull this? Let's see if this is a brokered load. This has got to be a brokered load, yeah. You never see... That BRK, Division BRK, my driver manager got on to me a few days ago and told me that I'm a moron for not knowing that that means that it's a brokered load and it's always going to be a live load. So now I know, because I was a moron and I didn't know that. I asked her what SET, the acronym SET, means in the comment section of these loads, and she told me that she doesn't know. So I guess I'm a moron for not knowing that too. But yeah, these big paying loads like this one, and if I were in Burnside looking for a load right now, just skimming the load board, I would do more in-depth digging than what I just did right now, skimming. But this is the best load that I see coming out of this area. This is the one I would grab. There goes the yard dog. Okay, so the APU crapped out on me. I intentionally picked a spot where there was nobody to the left of me so that I could take the side covers off of my tractor. My APU on my tractor is underneath the cab on the driver's side. So I have the fuel tank, and then in front of the fuel tank is the APU, and then the battery thing. So my APU sits in between the fuel tank and the batteries on the driver's side underneath the cab. I have to like pull my skirts, my fairings, whatever you want to call them, off to get to the APU. And this yard dog, these are really tight spaces. This French's mustard place that I'm picking up at right now, they're some of those assholes that make you completely disconnect from the trailer and go park bobtail in another section, and they'll call you whenever you're loaded. It's one of those places. It just creates a tremendous amount of extra work for you, and it's idiotic. It makes no damn sense to me, because the trailer is more secure with a tractor attached to it. I guess the only thing that they're doing is they're trying to prevent drivers from pulling out, while somebody's in the trailer pulling out. there are lots of forklift drivers that die every year. I remember when I was, I did dock work. They would always talk to us about how many forklift drivers die, and it's almost always because somebody pulls a trailer out while they're loading and unloading, and those forklifts are incredibly heavy. So if you drive off, like they pull the trailer away from the dock, and you are going in or out. Just a second. That's my alarm to wake up. I actually woke up early because the APU went out and it started getting warm in here. So I'm going to check the oil, and I'm also going to check for any leaks, or there were no puddles of anything underneath it, so I don't think it's leaking. I don't know what happened with the APU. It said check APU engine. Is the carrier errors suck, like they're non-informative errors. So I'm just going to check. Maybe this place didn't check the oil level. And it did have an oil leak, so maybe the oil was really low on it. Maybe I hope it's something simple like that, like it's just low on oil. I don't know. I'm gonna pop it open and take a look at it and see what I can see. I'm just really bummed out that I've spent so much money getting this APU running and it's not running. This is probably around $1,500 I've dumped into the APU so far. And it's bumming me out. So there isn't really any awesome load. So we're going to leave this one on refreshing, looking for York, Pennsylvania loads. You know what? I'm going to actually extend the range out to 250 miles. And just see if there's a really good load a little bit further out. A lot of short mileage runs up in the Northeast, in the deep Northeast. And just about everything coming out of the Northeast is fairly cheap crap. This one's coming out. Almost every other load that I've scrolled through has been just short runs keeping you in the Northeast. Here's one coming out, pays crap. Here's one coming out, pays crap. And here's some more loads just driving around, local crap. And this one, oh my goodness, a Florida load that's paying like $1. What would you make on that? That would be like $1, because it'd be like $1,400, $1,300, somewhere in that area. So it's like $1.20 a mile going into Florida from Pennsylvania. What a jackass, whoever the broker is that listed that crap. I hope nobody pulls that load. I hope that broker learns his lesson for posting something that cheap. Yeah, there's nothing worth a damn here. Aberdeen to Monrovia. It's probably driving around Baltimore. 72 miles. But there are like 5 or 6 of these Inwood, West Virginia to Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, 61 miles, paying $1,000. They're not using any kind of formula, like, they're not using anything. This is just a broker making up a fucking number whenever you see a big round number like that. This load's probably paying like $3,000, and the broker's listing it for $1,000. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste a whole day to do one of these loads. The problem is they you could potentially, it's drop and hook, if I were to get there early enough for the very first one at 9:30 a.m., well, no, I couldn't. Because they're all... It looks like they're all the same delivery window. No, they're not even all the same delivery window. This one, you can't be there until noon, which is about how long it would take me to get there. And let's say that, you know, it took an hour for me to drop and hook, and then an hour for me to get back. So let's say that I could, best case scenario, make it back to Inwood within by 2 p.m. Do they have one that picks up at 2 p.m.? No. 11:30 is the latest. So you would only be able to get one of these loads. You could come back the next day and do another one. Do one per day. And you would be making $650 a day. That's kind of shitty. That's down toward the bottom end of what I want to make in a day. $500 is my floor. $1,000 a day is my goal, and anything I can do better than that is just gravy. So those 60 miles for $1,000 may look really appealing to some people, but I look at things on how much money I can make in a day. Unless, I mean, there's a lot of factors involved. Like, you know, if you're burnt out and you want to take some time off, or you need to get your APU worked on or something. Dude, this guy just parked next to me. I should get out there and get my Yep, son of a bitch. Like, as soon as the fucking yard dog pulls out, somebody else parks right next to me, so I'm not going to be able to look at my APU here. I'll probably just look at it wherever I stop for the night. There are no leaks or anything. There's no major cause for concern to get it looked at immediately. Like, it's not dumping coolant or anything like that. So I don't know. I'm really just kind of bummed out about the whole situation. But this one, this is the type of load I'm looking for. Is you know, something that pays like $4 or $5 a mile. This would be a like $2,000 a day for me. So if you're going to be around Birdside, Kentucky tomorrow to pick up this load, that's a pretty good load. I'm not sure if I uploaded the video. I was making a load board video yesterday, and I looked, and it didn't look like it uploaded. I could have swore that I uploaded the video, but I guess I didn't. And let me pull it up on the load board just in case I didn't upload that video. I found a unicorn of unicorn loads. It was out of, I think, Green Bay, Wisconsin. So if you're in Green Bay, I think the load already picked up by now, so it might not be on the load board anymore. Let's do a minimum of 2,000. I don't want a maximum. If somebody lists $1 million load on here, I don't want to, you know, I'm not one to judge. Yeah, it's not on here anymore. I think it had to be picked up yesterday by like midnight or something. What was it? It was a 300-mile run that paid $5,000. Like 300 miles paying $5,000. It's the best load I've ever seen on the load board. And I'm pretty sure it was out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. There were a lot of good loads coming out of Green Bay. Looks like there's that one and there's that one. There's still good loads. Like this one's $5 a mile. That one's only $3 a mile. That's the full rate. You only get 65% of that. But 65% of $5 a mile, you're still gonna be making like $3 a mile on that run. So it's a pretty decent run. If I see a good paying load going to Green Bay, Wisconsin, I'll snag it up. Because Green Bay looks like a a pretty good place to pull loads out of. Let's see if this is a brokered load. Yep, brokered. And it's Clorox. Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble owns Clorox. See, this is the acronym I'm talking about, this SET, S-E-T. I asked my driver manager what that means, and she doesn't know. You see it on a lot of loads. Alright, enough looking at Green Bay. I'm not going to be pulling anything out of that market. So yeah, we had a pretty good week planned out, and then load canceled. Now we're in limbo land again. So I have two options coming out of York, Pennsylvania. One is a good paying load coming directly out of this market, and two is a filler or feeder load, whatever you want to call it, to get me to a money load. Something to feed me a good load. I'm not seeing anything that just jumps out to me that I'm just like, yeah, I want to haul that. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything too incredible here. I wish there were more filter options, like you could exclude certain cities or only go from certain cities. I wish that that's kind of the reason I use the spreadsheet, is so that I can have more control over making it easier to look through this stuff. Right now I'm just skimming it. If I were doing really in-depth research, I would be copying all this over into my spreadsheet so I can actually filter it. Another thing, let's do this right here, because right now I'm just trying to get a feel for the market, but I can't pick up anything until the 19th at probably about 3 a.m. That sounds good. So let's only show loads after that point in time, because anything before that I can't pick up. Not going to New York. I'm already in the Northeast. I need to get the hell out. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that awesome. That one caught my eye for a second, and then I was like, yep, no, that's that New Jersey load's been sitting there for a week. Wasn't going to New Jersey. It'd be a good load. And I'm sure there are a lot of people that don't have any problem going to Jersey. I don't like getting over there. I don't like that area. So we would need something that picks up. So Burnside to Pottsville. Burnside. Is that other one a Pottsville? Pittston. Neely's Landing, Missouri. This must be another Clorox DC. Yep, Procter & Gamble, brokered load. Neely's Landing, Missouri. I'm seeing some decent loads coming out of there. Union City, Georgia. This is the load going to Atlanta. That well, this is a completely different load, but the load that I had going to Atlanta, it was a Union City, Georgia load. It was 620 miles, paying like $3,000. So this one's 490, paying 2,600. So Summer Shade is one place. Neely's Landing, Missouri. Let's look at Neely's Landing, Missouri. Why in the hell does it not show the map sometimes? I guess it was showing the map. It wasn't showing it in the format that I'm used to. Where did it disappear to? Why isn't there a marker on the map? Okay, right there's the Procter & Gamble. So we'll mark that. Internet's slow. Give it a minute. Alright, so where are we at? Way south of St. Louis, out in the middle of no damn where. So it looks like you're going to have to get off 55 and drive down a highway for like 15 miles to get to this Procter & Gamble. That is a hell of a drive from where I'm at right now. And the thing that sucks is, how would I get there? Because it doesn't look like you can come in from this side. You'd have to come in from the off of a 55 to the west of it. So coming from the east, I would have to drive around it and get to the other side and then come back into it. So maybe take this 69 to 55 and then up. Most likely I would take 70, because I'm taking 70 to Pennsylvania right now. I would take 70 all the way back to St. Louis and then 55 south and then Procter & Gamble. That would be the most likely route. But I'm driving through a lot of good markets just to get there. What is this? Is Neely's Landing. They got some. Summershade is a good spot, so let's do York, Pennsylvania to Summershade, Kentucky. Like right now, there aren't any good Summershade loads, and this is the reason that you need to be looking at the load board on a regular basis. Because if you just look at a market one time, you might not be getting a good idea of what that market is like. Alright, looks like there's several loads on the load board now. There were, whenever I did this search from York, Pennsylvania to Summershade, Kentucky, there were only a couple of these loads listed. Now there's a ton of loads. These are 100-mile deadhead, West Hazelton, West Hazelton, West Hazelton, West Hazelton, Newcastle. Newcastle's only 56. I need something that picks up after the 19th. So this Aspers load, they're only 32 miles. Picks up the 19th at 10 a.m. But it doesn't deliver until the 21st. 2 days to make like $300. Like it's almost worth it to just deadhead instead of, yeah. So how much would I make on that? Let's throw this load into the spreadsheet. I'm gonna guesstimate that it's like $250 a day. We'll copy and let's switch to the spreadsheet. Alright, is it showing now? Yeah, it's showing now. Alright, let's there we go. So it pays $638 plus 146 fuel surcharge. I get 65% of 638, which is 414, and I get 100% of the fuel surcharge, 146. They're paying real fuel surcharge, which is at 25 cents a mile. So I'm making $560.95 on that load. And it's a 2-day load that can be done in a single day. So you have to divide that by 2, so that's 200. What was that, $280 a day? So yeah, roughly somewhere in the ballpark of the 300 a day. Like $280 a day, I don't even think it's worth it to pull that load just to get over to that other area. If the loads are good enough in that other area, then I'll just deadhead there. If they're not good enough, then I'm not gonna pull loads out of there. It's just not worth it. This up here at the top, this Inwood to Union City, this is the load that I had. It was $2,700. Oh, it's 728 miles. Oh no, that's never mind. That's with the deadhead. It was like 618 miles, and it had like 110 mile deadhead, so I increased the mileage up to 728. But yeah, that load paid me $1,800, and it was $251 a mile once you figured in the deadhead. Without considering the deadhead, it was $297 a mile, I think. But this is the load that I'm on currently. Okay, so these were my 3 loads that I had on me. So I've already delivered this Walmart load. That one pays me $564. I picked it up at my house and delivered it 140 miles away. $564 is what I made on it. It was $4 a mile. Then this load right here is the one I'm picking up right now. $3,100, going 1,020 miles. Picking it up in Springfield, Missouri, taking it to York, Pennsylvania. What I make on this load is $2,117. It pays $2.08 a mile. To give you an idea of like where that, like the rate per mile that I'm getting is way above average. Way above average. The loads that I pull, I do a lot of researching on the load board. The fleet average is usually around $2 and a little over $2 a mile is the fleet average. And that is the full rate. This $2 and $4 a mile, that is after the 65% cut. So the full rate on this one is it is 3,100 divided by 1,020. So let's put a box over here and do it's H4 divided by J4. $3.04 a mile. So I'm making $2.08 a mile on it, and it's actually paying $3.04 a mile. So the fleet average is around a little over $2 a mile on the full rate, this rate over here, which I'm getting $3 a mile on. This $4 a mile one, it's probably like $5.50 a mile or $6 a mile. And this one that was $2.97 a mile was probably close to $4.50 a mile to $5, somewhere around $4.50 to $5 a mile. So the loads I'm pulling right now are way above fleet average, way above fleet average. But that's because I spend a lot of time researching on the load board. Oh, here's that run I was talking about. Oh no, it's Romeoville. Let's see if it's still on there. This is the run that I told you about. This is the best run I'd seen on the load board. I thought it was coming out of Green Bay, but it was coming out of Romeoville, Illinois, which is basically Chicago, going to Waterford, Michigan, 300 miles, paying $5,000. After the 65% cut, you were making $11 a mile, $10.96 a mile. Let's go check Romeoville. What's this one on? This one's on Summer Shade. I want to leave that on there. We'll open up a new one to do Romeoville. I doubt that load's still on there. Let's see what was the I'll switch over to the browser in a second. What was the pickup time on that one? It had to be picked up yesterday by midnight. So let's switch this back over to the browser and let's look at Romeoville loads. Sorry, the computer's getting slow. I should have probably put a minimum amount on the line haul revenue. This is a pretty big market. What I think happened on that Romeoville load was it was a desperation load. The broker had to move it that day, and they probably put it on for the full rate without taking a cut off of it. The market right now is, hold on just a second. I can't pause. Hello? Take me off of your call list. Never call me again. One of those automated bullshit robocalls about your extended warranty on your car insurance. Yeah, nothing too amazing. I mean, it's mediocre stuff. I mean, it's decent stuff. I mean, this is an okay load. It's $1,000 a day load. This load is normally somebody'd probably look at this load and be like, unless you live in Texas, then you're like, oh. But this is not a very good load. 900 miles. That's going to take 2 days, or at least a day and a half, and it's only paying $2,000, and you only get 65% of that $2,000, and it's going to cost a lot of extra fuel because you're traveling so many miles. So I mean, this load doesn't pay that good, but Roanoke, Texas is North Dallas, and there is a Clorox distribution center there that has unicorn loads. So you're getting like a mediocre rate, like $1.30 a mile or something, to get to a really good distribution center, which you should have like no deadhead on your next load. I would show you Roanoke. Actually, yeah, I will. I'll just go ahead and show you Roanoke. They may have not started posting new loads. Like, some of these brokers are lazy. Like, you'll start seeing loads pop up shortly after 8 a.m., but really, it's like it can be as late as noon, 10 a.m. to noon, before the majority of loads start popping up. Alright, Roanoke, we got it down to 50 miles. Damn, are there not any Roanokes left? Oh, there's one. Whoa, where'd it go? Right here. Roanoke, $5 a mile. Is that the only one? That's the only one I see. And oh no, there's another one right there. To Denver. You do not want to go to Denver on USA Trucks load board. There's no freight coming out of there. You're gonna have to deadhead like 600 or more miles to get a load. But that one's roughly $4 a mile. A little less than $4 a mile. So if you look through here on all these loads, it's going to be like $2 a mile crap, $1 a mile crap, and then you're going to see a couple loads that are like $4 and $5 a mile, and those are the brokered loads coming out of Clorox distribution centers. If you are an owner-operator with USA Truck and you're running on percentage, which is the only damn place you should be, then you should be trying to haul loads out of these Clorox DCs, these brokered loads. That's where the money's at. Running on flat rate is just garbage. It is absolute garbage. I don't know of a nice way to put it. So let me just preface what I'm about to say, because it's going to come across as mean, and I don't mean it to be mean. I'm not saying it to be mean. There may be a good flat rate lease out there somewhere. I haven't seen one. I've never seen a good flat rate lease. And USA Truck pays like $1 or $1.10 a mile loaded, and like 94 cents a mile. God, another damn call. This one's from Missouri, so this is them. It's probably loaded. Hello, this is Daniel. Well, that... Good. Alrighty, I'll be in there in a few minutes. Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, that's a... So, I'm going to have to... The way they do shit here is they're going to seal it. They want me to pull it out of the dock, close the doors, and then back it back into the dock so that they can seal it. And then I'm going to, while it's still in the dock, I'm going to walk back over to the shipping office. So I don't know why I don't have a damn pause. I've got to like uninstall and reinstall this version, or update it or something. The one on my computer at home has a pause button. I would pause this, but I guess I'll end the video there. Let me finish my thought on what I was going to say on the flat rate stuff. Flat rate, it's like $1 a mile, plus fuel surcharge, and 94 cents a mile empty at USA Truck. I can't remember what exactly it is. It sucks. It sucks really bad. If you figure up your total cost per mile in one of these trucks, it's going to come to roughly $1 a mile. If you're running for less than $1 a mile, then you're in a situation like me where you have a paid off truck. But you should be setting money aside for whenever you have to buy a new truck. And if you have an older paid off truck like me, then your maintenance costs are higher. So it all is going to average out to somewhere in the ballpark of $1 a mile. You can go figure out your exact cost per mile if you want, but if your like operating cost is $1 a mile and they're paying you $1.10 a mile, why are you doing that? That's crazy. Yeah, I could have big paychecks that make it look good. It makes it look like I'm making money if I was flat rate. But once the end of the year happened and all of my expenses were tallied up, it would not look good. The way that they get you on these flat rates is they get people into this idea that their only cost is like fuel at 30 cents a mile. So at $1.10, you're making like 80 cents a mile or something. That's crazy. Flat rate is terrible. The only reason people typically go flat rate is because they're not good at picking loads on the load board. If you are not good at picking loads on a load board to do percentage, if there's something keeping you from being profitable on a percentage, then this is the part about it that's mean that I don't mean it to be mean, is that being an owner-op may not be for you. It's just all the good money as an owner-op is percentage. I've never seen a flat rate that pays worth a damn. So get on percentage. Learn how to pick loads on the load board and be profitable. It's your business. Put some effort into it. Learn it. It's fun. I enjoy picking loads on the load board. But anyway, I'm going to end this video because I've got to go move a trailer around and then go to the shipping office and all kinds of good stuff. And then I'm going to stop at Stratford, TA, top off fuel, and then get moving to Pennsylvania. So thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.